Is it done then? Has the fool ended himself? Or did the ritual fail entirely?
This shade is cycling through events of the past, and perhaps has been ever since its death. I cannot say this for certain, but it is likely the one he is speaking of is the one who became the Guardian.
Him? You mean he who became the Guardian? We aren't even allowed to use his name, you know that. Yes, I knew him, taught him, and watched him toss it all away. I did not tutor that boy for 20 years, only to have him turned into some mindless monstrosity. A waste, I say. Yes, I tried, but I hadn't been his master in 10 years. Not long for an elf, but half an eternity for a human. I simply didn't understand. He was always the patriot. Sacrifices must be made for the good of all. Ilfan is a great nation, and preserving it is our responsibility. Well, I say this. Let the weak and the worthless make the sacrifices. That boy had a mind in his bone cage. He might have advanced the study of magic, but instead he threw it all away for love of country. Gifted? I suppose, for a human. Bah, yes, he was gifted by the hells. A quick mind, a sharp wit, a noble spirit. Have you ever noticed, I wonder, how those who have everything are always the quickest to throw it all away?
I agree. There is nobility in such acts, and the courage they inspire in others to make similar sacrifices.
I heard how it ended for him, lying there screaming for near 100 days, with that fool girl at his bedside, as the weave slowly burned away what was left of him, bit by bit. But he got his wish, didn't he? Lost himself and became the Guardian. All that he was, all gone. Yes, I suppose I will follow.
I can smell you, plunderer. I can taste your steel and hear the rustle of the hundreds you've slain, swirling and fading in your wake. Names? You won't find names in this place, plunderer. Only questions. He's drained us all of names just like we took his. Yes, our Guardian. I wonder, have you asked yourself the question yet? Have you seen past the ramblings of priests, past the sobs and sighs of broken minds, and spied the real conundrum? Yes. Think of him, the perfect protector. They stripped him of his name, so he had no pride. They stripped him of his self, so he had no ambition. His purpose was as pure as it was simple, to protect his nation and destroy its enemies. He wasn't flawed, he was perfect. Yet still, he was our doom. No, that isn't the reason at all. The Guardian turned to the Shadow Weave to further his purpose, only to keep himself alive that he might protect his nation. There's a dirty little secret, one the others won't tell you. We struck first. We never bothered to learn the Guardian's intentions. Who can say? The blood-drunk elf girl swooped in before we could ask, before we could think. Yes, the Guardian's nature had changed, but what did that mean? What did he want? Revenge? Did he want his life back? Did he simply want to feed? We didn't even try to find out. As for me, I don't think his motives had changed at all, nor have they ever. Perhaps, or lacking an Ilfan to defend, He is simply trying to destroy her enemies, wherever he perceives them to be. Why not? To have a purpose, however fleeting, will be a welcome change.
Do I live? I thought not. You know why? No pain. Never fought a battle and came out feeling like this. Like nothing. Thunderbelly they call me, the Iron Arm of Dardath. First dwarf over the walls at Sunstone. The name's on account of my appetite, see? Got it from the boys on the field of Delambir. Here I was, smiting trolls left and right, and my belly's growling louder than me, on account of no breakfast. Good days those were. Not a subtle sort, are you? No, don't trouble yourself. I died in the battle, the last battle, when all that remained of Ilfarn went out to meet the Guardian. They say we won, walled him up in some plane of shadow, but I don't call that a victory. Victory's when I swing my axe and split my foreman's skull. That was no victory, even for the worm. Of course not. The worm was on our side. A right hero he was. Wizards called him up from somewhere. Said he'd come to put an end to the Guardian. Good thing we had him too. He fought even tougher than he looked. Managed to distract the Guardian while the wizards did their work. Ended bad for him though. The Guardian did for him, like he did for all of us. We saw him fall, just dropped out of the sky, all shining, like he was carved from diamond. The wizards weren't ready yet, so they sent us in next. Last I remember, the whole host of Dardath was marching forward, me and a few others at their head. Then, all around us, these little shadows. They were everywhere, hundreds of them. And one of them, he was just there, in front of me. All of a sudden, so close, and he reaches for me, and... Not at first. I think I would have gone with the others. I could feel them, you know. Feel them drifting off, going somewhere. But not me. I made an oath. It was before the battle. Swore I wouldn't come home till the Guardian was slain. We all said the words, but I meant them. They beat him, those wizards did. They trapped the Guardian. I don't know how I know that, but I know. Whatever you need, Thunderbelly's your dwarf.
Who approaches us, sisters? Does it look on us? Does it pity us?
Make it leave us, sisters! Of voices we hear plenty!
We were the Silken Sisters, the pride of Olenthodar. Sword and spell we wielded, 6 we were, but now are 1. 6 we were, and now but 1.
Will it free us? Will it kill us?
Yes, a bargain, a story told, exchanged for peace. An end we crave, an end for true.
Know that I do not believe it possible to destroy these spirits. They are bound to the King of Shadows, and as long as he exists, they shall as well.
Does it know the Guardian? Does it know how the Guardian fell into shadow? We were the first sent against him. Sharpened swords, sharpened spells, went into the forest where he was strong. Went in 6, came out 1. Went in 6, came out 1. He spied us in the wood. He fell upon us, drained our lives, and left our spirits naked, helpless. left our souls screaming in the dark. But that wasn't all, was it, sisters? No, he was angry. He wasn't finished with us. Not yet. He scoured us bare, made us shadow. He can work shadow, shape it as he wills. He worked us like clay, like white-hot steel. 6 blades, hammered into one. Here we came, by roads unknown. This place is strong with his contagion. Strong with his reek! When 6 were joined, some voices were lost. Mouths sealed, minds pulped. 3 remain. The communion tree? Then it seeks to combat him. Come, sisters, its hopes align with ours. Let us follow.
He burns. He screams. Someone must stop this. Why will no one listen? Spirit, is this another of the dwarf's ploys? I warn you, he won't be rid of me this time. For 10 days have I sat vigil with the Guardian, as they call him now. His pain has only worsened, when Anais promised it would ease. Who is... Do you mock me? Or is the dwarf afraid to face me? He knows he has done an evil thing. He may talk all he likes of patriotism, of sacrifices for our nation. A century of peace is not worth such suffering. How can we call ourselves civilized when we ask a good man to endure such pain? To become some unfeeling thing? The weave fills him. It boils in his every vein, day and night, 10 day after 10 day. Is it not enough that he must sacrifice his very self? End this, now! If enough of us come together, demand that Aeneas release him from the ritual, end his pain. It isn't too late. It can't be. I don't understand. I've just come from the temple. I can hear his screams, feel the warmth of his hands. We can still save him. I'm certain.
Such reminders will be forgotten. There is nothing that can be done. The past surrounds them like a cage, and there is no key that will free them. Come, let us take this shade to the communion tree. There, perhaps, she will do more to help the one she loved than she does here.
Come with you? Very well, I will. I will follow.
You must pardon me, friend. It was not my custom in life to greet visitors with swarms of undead. I am called Aeneas. Oh yes, such is my punishment, to languish here until the gods see fit to set me free. But I suffer it gladly. My crimes saved a nation. I created the Guardian, you see. Yes, me, a silly fat dwarf. I created him, later tried to destroy him, and I would do it all again. I make no apologies. Indeed, the fault is mine, if it makes you feel any better. I have been trapped in this foul undeath for more centuries than I dare to count, and I will likely remain here for many more. It's not a pleasant fate, but I would gladly endure my torments 100-fold before I took back the decisions I made. A great man, a patriot. Can you imagine such a sacrifice? He didn't simply give up his life. He offered up his very self for his people. After his corruption, yes, we tried twice to destroy him. Well, I'm told they tried again afterward, but by then, I was dead. First, we sent the Silken Sisters against him. Silly and foolish, those elf girls, but brave too. I warned them not to strike the Guardian. I counseled our leaders to withdraw, to pull all our folk from the Heartland, and to regroup, to make a plan. The sisters were destroyed. Then our leaders turned to me, and I devised the ritual, the very ritual of purification which you seek to complete.
In many ways, it attempts to reverse the processes that created the Guardian, to the extent that such a thing can be done. In truth, it merely allows one to weaken him. A fire burns wood to ash. The process can never truly be reversed. And so it is with the Guardian. He is utterly and irreversibly changed. We failed. The ritual functioned as expected, but there was dissent amongst us. Some of the wizards, old friends of his, refused to strike. They tried to reason with the Guardian instead. As friends, and arrogant ones at that, they believed that their counsel could change him where the power of Ilfarn could not. How could they expect not to? He had been their friend. Surely he would remember them, listen to them. Their minds understood the power of the ritual, but their hearts did not. Nothing more than could be expected. The Guardian was no longer a man, no matter what his friends believed. We were divided, and the Guardian slew us, drained our lives, everyone. And with us perished the might of Ilfarn. Indeed, the fault is mine, if it makes you feel any better. I have been trapped in this foul undeath for more centuries than I dare to count, and I will likely remain here for many more. It's not a pleasant fate, but I would gladly endure my torments 100-fold before I took back the decisions I made.
In ancient times, the Guardian was created to protect Ilfarn. If the time has come to dismantle our great instrument, you will be an agent of its destruction. Take this blessing of communion. May its soothing light comfort you on your travels.
The third part of the ritual is complete. Focus your will upon the statue. Know that though the King of Shadows may wound you countless times, you have the power to undo the damage he does to you, or to others.
You have returned a measure of peace to this place. For that I am grateful. My fellow spirits were in torment, and their pain found expression in the foul creatures that walked these halls. Thanks to you, their torment has abated, if only for a time. Should you defeat the Guardian, I believe that peace will settle over this place at last. Rest will be bittersweet for me. My undeath will end, but my books will crumble even as my body turns to dust.
In ancient times, the Guardian was created to protect Ilfarn. If the time has come to dismantle our great instrument, you will be an agent of its destruction. Take this blessing of cleansing. May it burn away the darkness in your travels.
The fourth part of the ritual is complete. Feel the power of Ilfarn fill you, and see what it is you stand against. He knows what we are doing, but you have learned how to place the power of this ritual between you and him, like a barrier. And if he attempts to break it, he will only wound himself.
What is this place? It looks like a ruined village, but...
Know that these are not the Ilfarn ruins we seek. Is this your birth village?
This was your home? I didn't realize you were from a mare village. Must have been a tough childhood.
Know that this was not our intended destination. Something is wrong. We are close to where we were meant to be. Are there any ancient Ilfarn structures near your birth village? If so, that is where we must go. Then that is our true destination. Yet only something of great power could have turned away our arrival from the ruins, even if they are close by.
Something more powerful than teleporting around? Great.
We should be on our guard. It is possible that whatever caused this disruption is still present. Such disruption may be due to our enemies seeking us. Or, do you hear something? It is like the sound of a child wailing. Yes, I agree. Though I do not believe anyone lives, we may still wish to search. A witness to the events here would be of value. Let us see where our path takes us. But no matter what, we must make our way to the ruins you spoke of. This is where the sound is coming from. The wailing of the child is strong here. What is this place? There is a familiar sensation about it. It's not the sound. The vibration is in the air around it, almost metallic. It is powerful, very powerful. This place is a sacred place. Know that when we know more, we should return.
Oh, gods. What is that?
It is a thrall of the King of Shadows, a Shadow Reaver. And there, behind it, is the statue of purification.
You have come far for nothing. The statue's power is spent. Another has taken it, but it will not stop us.
Another has undergone the ritual of purification? You speak lies.
But it does not matter. The thief has not completed the rest of the ritual, the parts you bear. Once you are slain and the other statues cast down, none shall stand against us.
Then as long as the other one who completed the ritual lives, we have a chance. All we have to do is defeat you.
Ah, Gith. Zerai. You cannot stop me. Why the Illithids use your people as slaves is beyond me. It was a waste to you both.
And why the King of Shadows would use you for a similar purpose is not known to me. But the fact that you cannot break his grip tells of your weakness.
Weakness? My power is more than enough to defeat you. More than enough to bring these ruins down upon you. Even if you should wound me, I shall reform within the veil of Merdelaine, as strong as before. I cannot be stopped. No one has yet bested one of us, and none of us have suffered a wound from which we must be reborn.
To place such faith in powers that have been untested caused the downfall of Ilfarn as well.
You are already defeated. You simply do not know it, but you will.
Know that speaking words does not make them truth. Prove it, thrall. It is done. But know that we have only bought time, not achieved victory. We have only driven it off. It will return, as it said, and there will be more. No, we must find the one the Reaver spoke of. The one who completed the ritual. We will need their aid to defeat the King of Shadows.
But that could be anyone. We don't even know who that is. I can't believe we came all this way for nothing.
Nothing. Know that we have completed 4 parts of the ritual. We have learned another holds the 5th. And most importantly, we know that our enemy fears our plans.
I know. I just feel like we should do something.
Know that this road is at an end, but time may have opened other roads to us. There is hope. You must believe it. Know that we have 2 weapons against the King of Shadows. The ritual in all its parts, and a fully forged sword of the Githyanki. We will need the sword no matter what transpires. Let us pursue that path, and perhaps the second path shall be revealed to us. Whoever completed the ritual did so for a reason. And that reason means they will be searching for us. Know that the intention of completing the ritual says more than it may seem. Whoever has done this has done so to hurt the King of Shadows. And to do that, they will need a silver sword just as we do. In so doing, they have set foot upon a path that must cross ours. And if we have a silver sword, the time of that intersection will come quickly indeed. Amanjero knew much of the Githyanki silver swords. Finding his haven and recovering the knowledge of those swords is the only step we may take on this path now. We should return to Crossroad Keep, to the lore keeper who was imprisoned there with me, Aldenon. He knows much of Neverwinter, and he may know more than we of where to find some trace of Amanjero.
Ah, welcome back. I remember you. Well, I think I do. You were the one with the shards, I hope. Yes, I am so pleased you let me visit. The last time I was here, I wasn't able to examine much to the keep or the library. Quite a shame. Oh, that is unfortunate. I occasionally return to that side project when I have time, but to be honest, it's a difficult stone to crack. I mean, it's one thing to know about a place and quite another to find it. The distinction is subtle, but there. Let's see. You have explored the Ilfon ruins, undergone the ritual of purification, and traveled to Old Owl Well. Although I seem to recall something regarding getting several vials of dragon's blood, and of course some lich dust. Then there's the 3 keys: bronze, silver, and red platinum. The red platinum one might need to be reforged. I think one of the pieces is an arm. Or was it the Underdark?
Master Aldenon, here is the map with the position marked, as you requested.
My question exactly. What is this nonsense? I didn't ask for any map. Can't you see we're having an important discussion here?
Master Aldenon, you requested I chart a possible location for you, based on the information you provided. I had the master cartographer and several assistants cross-checking the records, and you were correct. This location cannot be scryed, and it bears the telltale arcane marks you indicated would be there.
So? Marks of what? Specifics, please, or I'll get the gardener to handle my errands from now on.
Master Aldenon, you did not say what this place was, only what to look for. As you have said, it is one thing to find a place, and quite another thing to know about it at all.
It seems so. What a relief. Though I could have used some dragon blood and some lich dust, and there's no way I'd go hunting for reagents like that. No thank you. But yes, I seem to recall asking for this. Well done, Aldenon, I say. Which I do. Good for me. Wouldn't you agree? Well, there were 2 things I felt would be essential in a haven. Secrecy and its ties to the court of Neverwinter. Secrecy means a place that cannot be scryed. So I hired several diviners in my employ to scan a selected area based on shipments of reagents to a few obscure locations indicated in the court records. Quite simple, really.
Sure looks buried deep within the mountains.
Oh, well, I'm not certain it's there, but if I were to guess where one would place a labyrinth of death traps, well, mountains are always a good source of stone. Labyrinths need walls, you know, and stone walls seem to be favored.
Great. Can we go now? My ancestors' death-filled labyrinth awaits, apparently.
Master Aldenon, there was more to the map, and what the diviners found. Even with the wards, the concentration of infernal magics there.
Oh, trust me, demons shouldn't pose any problems, especially for a well-trained, armed, spirited group like that. Now, if you had told me that those men at Crossroad Keep had completed that terrible ritual of shadows, then I would be concerned.
Metallurgy, thaumaturgy, yes, you heard me. Building a golem, I hope, will serve thee. No, that rhyme doesn't quite work, does it? Maybe if I use alchemy...
Either way, it won't work. That construct you're messing with, Gnome, it's dangerous.
Ah, this is in safe hands, Sir Bishop. Gnome hands, as it were, being my name.
How reassuring. I'll be sure to remind myself who's to blame when it turns on us.
Oh, there is little fear of that, I think. Any accomplished craftsman takes care to put safety wards so that they might command their own creation.
That's as comforting as leaving the village idiot in charge of a trebuchet.
Oh, come now. That's hardly a proper analogy. It's more like leaving the village idiot in charge of a huge savage, nearly unstoppable wolf, who can only understand simple commands like kill, or stop killing, or, oh no, put both halves of that man down this instant. But really, this blade golem is such a gentle, unassuming creature. It would never do something so horrible, would you? Construct? Would you?
So what you're saying is if you're killed, we have no way of shutting this thing down.
Oh, no. The words of command aren't cued to my voice. Only the words matter. Much like one would utter when using a wand, staff, or other device. Anyone can use them. It's only a matter of knowing what they are. I imagine that's how the construct was issued its orders from its awful masters.
Hate to have that happen again, provided they don't already have the backup wards already in place. That's what I would do.
You really think they might?
It always pays to have a second who knows the commands, Gnome. Especially if there's any chance the creator could be killed or wiped out. Otherwise, you're leaving yourself vulnerable.
I hadn't considered that. But what if I was harmed, unconscious, or, my word, even killed? Why, the consequences could prove disastrous.
They could. But you could always take precautions, provided you knew someone you could trust.
Captain, a moment of your time. We caught one of the Grey Cloaks, Sergeant Dobson, accepting bribes from a caravan master. Dobson, explain yourself to the captain.
Captain, I'm sorry it's come down to this. It's true merchants sometimes pay a little extra to speed along the process. It's almost standard practice among—
Not while wearing my cloak, Sergeant! Pardon. Assuming the captain agrees with me.
Some of the trade laws are too restrictive. The caravan master wanted us to ease up on some of the older laws. We're supposed to confiscate everything from technically, because some lord a century dead had a feather up his— well, you get the idea. The Grey Cloaks don't receive much of a stipend. And customs like this make it easier on us and the merchants.
And are you sure that's all he's trading in? If you don't search for contraband, it could be anything. In my opinion, this sort of behavior has to be eliminated to ensure order. But the decision is yours. I agree, Captain. Sergeant Dobson, the captain's spoken.
Aye, Kana.
Thank you, Captain. I have a visitor here for you, Captain, with an interesting proposition.
I am the leader of the Raven's allies. We are mercenaries from Westgate. Our contracts have brought us from the Sea of Fallen Stars to here. We'd like to join your Grey Cloaks.
These mercenaries are better than some I've seen, but they're still undisciplined and not used to rules or dealing with people. It could hurt us if we accept them. The Ravens are capable warriors, and some of them exceed the standards we set for our recruits. We're not interested, mercenaries. I advise you to leave Crossroad Keep.
Then we will leave. Who knows? Perhaps we will see each other across a battlefield one day.
You have returned, and you have been wounded. Yes, my Lord Garius, the Harborman, the one who disrupted our ritual at Crossroad Keep. He hounds us still. Let me gather my strength, and then
My only concern is a ritual of purification, as it should have been yours. Are the statues intact? Can the ritual still be performed?
The Harborman was able to finish a portion of the ritual, my lord, but by itself, it is not enough to stop us.
By itself? Explain.
When I arrived at the ruins of Ilfarn, another had come before the Harborman and I was able to destroy the statue that granted the fifth part of the ritual, but someone completed it before I could stop them, and I do not know who it was.
I see. So it seems there is another player in this war. It is no matter. Once we slay the Harborman, then the future of our king is assured.
My Lord Darius, the Harborman is stronger than before. He cannot destroy us, yes, but in battle, he may be a match for any of us.
Indeed. He may be able to challenge one of us, but not all of us, I think.
There. It's done. Now what?
And just when I was growing tired of the Jero blood, a new vein appears.
How did I get here?
My dear, this entire haven is tied to the Jero bloodline. I imagine you got here exactly how you entered.
My friends. Where are they?
Around, no doubt. Probably not having as easy a time as you, I expect. But let us chat for a moment, you and I. There is so much we should discuss.
I don't believe you.
My dear, what you believe hardly matters. You reached here, did you not? I would think that was proof enough.
So I can travel anywhere within this sanctuary. I can rejoin those I came with?
Eventually, yes. It may require some practice. But you may find travel here erratic. This entire place has many locks and seals, their power drawn from the demons and devils caged here. Finding the right path may take time.
But my friends can't?
They will have a more difficult time, yes. I think they will soon envy you when they discover the power you have. Go on, set your will to it. See what you are capable of. Imagine traveling elsewhere within the haven and so the chase begins. Not a moment too soon, it seems. More guests are about to arrive.
And what is this? Step forward, little tool. Let Koroboros look upon your features. Ah, a gift after all this time. I am touched. Tell me, little one, how did you get here?
I'm not sure. A demoness told me I could travel anywhere in this place. And suddenly I was here.
Blood powers this place, girl. Now, here you are of your own free will, and the balance shifts.
What balance?
This place is powered by the presence of the Beatazu and Tannery held here. It is what permits you to travel as you will, and grants power to the one who commands us.
And who is that?
A powerful wizard, one whom your friends have hunted for some time. He has thwarted your efforts time and again. He is Lord and King of this place, one forever linked to Shadow. I think his name is already known to your friends, and perhaps you as well.
The King of Shadows is here? But then he better be prepared for a beating. My friends in here have handled a lot worse.
My dear, as long as we remain in our summoning circles, the one who commands us will rise from every defeat anew, more powerful than before. And that does not bode well for your friends.